Ever wondered why some people just seem to get others so effortlessly? You know, those folks who can walk into any room and instantly connect with everyone. How do they do it? Is it some kind of magic? Not exactly. It's actually something much more interesting, something rooted in our very biology, our brains, and our everyday actions. Did you know our brains are hardwired for empathy? That's right. We're naturally built to understand and share the feelings of others. But here's the kicker. Most of us don't realize just how powerful empathy can be in transforming our relationships. Sounds intriguing, right? If you're curious about how to tap into this hidden power and really start connecting with people on a deeper level, stick around, because we're about to dive into some fascinating tips that can help you develop empathy like never before. We're talking about the kind of empathy that not only makes you feel closer to others, but also makes others feel truly understood by you. Ready to learn how? Let's get into it. Tip number 1. Empathy mapping. Ever heard of this? Probably not. But it's one of the coolest tools out there for truly understanding someone else's perspective. Think of it like this. When you're trying to solve a puzzle, you need to see all the pieces, right? Empathy mapping is like laying out all those pieces to see the full picture of someone's emotions, thoughts, and needs. So how do you apply it? Well, start by imagining yourself in the other person's shoes. Ask yourself, what might they be thinking, feeling? What's driving their actions? This doesn't have to be complicated. Just take a moment before or during a conversation to mentally sketch out their map. And here's a pro tip. You can even do this after the fact, reflecting on a conversation to understand where things might have gone off track or why someone reacted the way they did. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it, and the more intuitive your empathy will become. And now, tip number 2, mirror neurons in action. Now this is where it gets a bit sciencey, but stay with me. Our brains have these things called mirror neurons, which basically let us feel what others are feeling. Imagine watching someone eat a lemon. Your mouth puckers, right? That's your mirror neurons at work. When we see someone in pain, happy, or stressed, these neurons fire up, making us feel a bit of what they're feeling. So how can we use this in our daily lives? Next time someone shares an experience with you, really tune in. Let your brain do its thing. Allow yourself to feel what they're feeling. Instead of just hearing their words, try to connect with the emotions behind them. This might mean showing a more visible reaction, like nodding when they're excited or offering a comforting word when they're sad. By engaging these mirror neurons, you're not just hearing, you're connecting on a deeper emotional level. Moving on to tip number 3, cultural immersion. This one's a bit of an adventure. Have you ever noticed how traveling or even just reading about other cultures opens your mind? It's not just fun, it's empathy in action. By exposing yourself to different ways of life, you start to see the world through a variety of lenses. But what if you don't have a trip planned soon? No worries. You can still immerse yourself through books, movies, or even conversations with people from different backgrounds. Try cooking a dish from another country. Listen to music from a different culture, or even participate in cultural events in your community. Each time you do, you're expanding your capacity for empathy by broadening your understanding of how others live and think. And here's something cool. When you approach conversations with this kind of openness, people sense it. They feel understood and valued, which naturally strengthens your connection with them. Tip number 4, empathy journaling. Okay, so this one might sound a little like homework, but trust me, it's worth it. Each day, take a few minutes to jot down moments where you felt empathy. Maybe it was something you observed, something you experienced, or something you wish you'd handled differently. By reflecting on these moments, you start to build a habit of empathy, kind of like flexing your empathy muscles. Here's a way to start. At the end of each day, think about a conversation or interaction you had. Write down what the other person might have been feeling and how you responded. Over time, you'll start to see patterns in your reactions and learn how to deepen your empathetic responses. Plus, it's a great way to unwind and reflect on your day with a focus on growth and connection. And now, tip number 5, empathy and conflict. Conflict, right? No one likes it. But here's the thing. Conflict is actually a prime opportunity to practice empathy. When we're in a disagreement, our instinct is to defend ourselves, to win the argument. But what if we flipped that script? What if, instead of trying to win, we tried to understand where the other person is coming from? Next time you're in a conflict, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what unmet need is driving their behavior? This isn't about giving in, it's about gaining insight. Maybe they're feeling unappreciated, or perhaps they're stressed about something unrelated. By identifying the root cause, you can address the real issue rather than just the surface-level disagreement. You can also apply this by simply acknowledging the other person's feelings during the conflict. Saying something like, "I see that you're really upset about this," can go a long way in diffusing tension and opening the door to a more productive conversation. Next up, tip number 6, the power of silence. Ever feel the need to fill every pause in a conversation? Well, here's a little secret. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Silence gives others the space to express themselves fully, without feeling rushed or interrupted. Here's how you can practice this. Next time you're listening to someone, resist the urge to jump in right away. Let there be a little pause. It might feel awkward at first, but it's amazing how much deeper the conversation can go when you give it some room to breathe. The other person may open up more, sharing thoughts and feelings they might not have if you'd filled the silence. And the best part? This silence also gives you time to fully absorb what they've said, allowing you to respond more thoughtfully and empathetically. And now, tip number 7, perspective-taking exercises. This one's like a mental workout for your empathy. Perspective-taking is all about deliberately practicing the skill of seeing situations from another's point of view. And it's not just about big life events. This can apply to the little things too. Here's a fun way to do this. During your daily interactions, try to imagine yourself as the other person. How would you feel if you were in their situation? How might their past experiences shape their current reactions? By doing this regularly, you train your brain to naturally consider others' perspectives, making empathy your default mode. You can also make it a game. Next time you're in a public place, like a coffee shop, pick someone out and try to imagine their story. Where are they coming from? What might they be dealing with today? It's a fun exercise that sharpens your empathy skills without any pressure. Tip number 8, mindful listening. We've all heard about mindfulness, right? But have you ever tried applying it to your conversations? Mindful listening is about being fully present. No distractions, no multitasking, just you and the other person. When someone's talking to you, really focus on their words, their tone, their body language. Not only does this make the other person feel valued, but it also enhances your ability to empathize with what they're going through. It's about more than just hearing. It's about truly understanding. To practice this, start by putting away your phone or any other distractions when someone's talking to you. Give them your full attention. And here's a little trick. Try to listen more than you speak. Ask open-ended questions that encourage them to share more, and respond in ways that show you're really listening. And now, tip number 9, celebrate small acts of kindness. Empathy doesn't always have to be about big, grand gestures. Sometimes, it's the little things that count the most. Start paying attention to the small acts of kindness around you. Whether it's someone holding the door open, offering a smile, or helping a stranger, recognize these moments and express your gratitude. Maybe send a quick thank you note or simply say, "Hey, that was really nice of you." These small acknowledgments can make a huge difference in how connected we feel to others. Plus, the more you focus on kindness, the more you'll start to see it everywhere. And here's a fun idea. Try to be the one who initiates these small acts. Make it a daily goal to do at least one kind thing for someone else, no matter how small. You'll find that this not only makes others feel good, but also deepens your own sense of empathy and connection. Finally, tip number 10, supporting personal growth. Empathy isn't just about understanding others' feelings. It's also about supporting their growth. When you show genuine interest in someone's goals and dreams, you're building a deeper connection. Ask them about their ambitions, their challenges, and what they're excited about. Offer encouragement, celebrate their successes, and be there during their struggles. This kind of support not only strengthens your relationship, but also fosters a sense of empathy that's rooted in care and commitment. And here's the thing. When you help someone grow, you grow too. You learn more about them, but also about yourself and your own capacity to support and uplift others. It's a win-win that leads to stronger, more empathetic connections all around. So there you have it. 10 tips for building empathy that go beyond the usual advice. Empathy is about more than just understanding. It's about creating real, meaningful connections with the people around us. When we take the time to truly see, hear, and support others, we make our relationships stronger and our lives richer. Why not start practicing some of these tips today? You might be surprised at the difference it makes. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know, which tip are you most excited to try out? We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep spreading kindness and empathy. You never know how much it might mean to someone else.